chosen one. This is the sign you've been praying for. Not just comfort, but confirmation. Heaven heard you, and God is about to send the right person into your life. Not when you're lonely, but when you're finally ready. You've been through the silent nights, the empty dinners, the prayers that ended in tears. You held it together while everyone else seemed to move on. But that waiting wasn't punishment. It was preparation. The silence wasn't God ignoring you. It was Him protecting you from what wasn't meant to stay. So if your heart has been heavy, if you've been asking, Lord, when is it my turn? Then this message is your turn. Stay till the end, because what I'm about to share will show you how heaven sends the right one when your soul is finally aligned. And if your spirit already feels it, type 999 in the comments as your divine confirmation. And subscribe so you won't miss what heaven wants to reveal next. Because your story isn't over. It's just beginning with the right person in divine timing. There comes a moment when even your prayers echo back empty, when the phone stops ringing, when the people you trusted the most drift into the background of your story. It hurts, doesn't it? But what if that silence wasn't rejection? It was redirection. Let's go deeper. The silent season. Why God kept you alone. You think you've been forgotten, but maybe God was protecting you. That quiet in your life right now, the one that feels endless, isn't punishment. It's preparation. There's a woman named Linda, 52 years old. 2 years ago, she went through a painful divorce after nearly 3 decades of marriage. For months, she couldn't get out of bed. She stopped answering calls. She told me once, "It's like God just erased my life." But here's what really happened. In that silence, where no one texted, no one called, no one asked how she was, something inside her began to heal. She started walking every morning just to feel the sun again. She picked up her old journal and wrote, "If God took everything, maybe He's making room for something better." And 2 years later, looking back, she said something powerful. That isolation saved me from repeating the same pattern. You see, God never wastes pain. He doesn't remove people to punish you. He removes them to reveal you. Sometimes, the people you thought were meant to stay were actually the ones keeping you small. He had to pull you away from what was familiar so He could lead you to what was faithful. You weren't abandoned. You were being refined. It's like gold. Gold isn't shaped in comfort. It's refined in fire, where the heat strips away everything that isn't pure. And that's what your silence has been doing. Stripping away the noise. Stripping away the need to be validated. Stripping away the constant reaching for people who never reached back. I know it's lonely. You scroll through your phone, and every photo, every memory, every empty message thread feels like a ghost of who you used to be. You start wondering, did I do something wrong? Did I miss my calling? But here's the truth. The silence wasn't God's absence. It was His surgery. He was removing the infection of approval, the wound of needing to be chosen, the ache of trying to belong where your spirit never fit. Because before you step into your purpose, God has to make sure your heart isn't tied to what He's trying to free you from. Linda told me later that she used to pray for love, but now she prays for peace. And that peace, that deep, unshakable peace, became her proof that God never left. He was just teaching her how to stand in the quiet without losing herself. Maybe that's where you are too, in a season that feels empty, but is actually sacred. You keep asking, when will this end? And heaven whispers back, when you remember who you are without them. So, if you're in your silent season right now, Stop trying to fill the space. Sit with it. Let it do its work. Because this isn't a delay, it's design. And once the refining is complete, you'll look back and realize the silence wasn't the end of your story. It was the rewrite. Because the truth is, you can't pour from an empty cup. And that's exactly why, in the next part, we'll talk about what happens when God takes that cup away. Not to deprive you, but to restore you. The divine partnership. How to recognize and prepare for it. You've waited. You've healed. You've learned how to stand in silence. And now, heaven begins to whisper again. But this time, it's not calling you to chase anyone. It's preparing you to recognize the one who was designed to walk beside you. There's a big difference between being completed and being covered. The ones from your past, they made you feel like you had to prove your worth, always performing, always afraid to lose them. But the one God sends doesn't need your performance. They protect your peace. Tom, 57, lost his wife to illness. For years, he believed love was behind him. Then one evening, at a small church prayer group, he met a woman named Angela. He said, she didn't fill a hole. She built a home. She didn't try to erase his grief. She held space for it. She prayed with him, not over him. And slowly, he realized, the right one doesn't fix you. They protect what God already healed. That's what divine covering feels like. Calm, grounded, safe. It's not fireworks. It's foundation. Remember those times you mistook chaos for chemistry? When your heart raced, your palms sweated, and you thought, this must be love. But really, that was your nervous system reacting to familiarity, not your spirit recognizing alignment. Peace is divine confirmation. Chaos is emotional addiction. Marcia, 60, told me, in my 40s, I thought love was supposed to hurt. The more I chased, the more I believed it was passion. Now, decades later, she smiles and says, this time, I don't feel fireworks. I feel home. That's how you'll know. Real love doesn't rush you. It roots you. So if it feels calm, safe, unforced, don't mistake that for boring. That's what heaven's alignment sounds like. Quiet consistency. A divine partnership isn't just emotional. It's mission-driven. When God joins two people, it's never just about romance. It's about assignment. A couple in Texas once shared that they met while volunteering at a church food drive. 2 years later, they opened a small charity that now feeds hundreds weekly. They said, we didn't fall in love first. We fell into purpose together. That's the key. Divine partners don't distract. They deploy. So when someone enters your life, ask yourself, does this relationship expand my peace or exhaust it? It's easy to see a partner as a reward, but heaven sees them as an assignment. Because love that's divine requires maturity to maintain. It takes prayer to understand each other, honesty to stay transparent, and forgiveness to stay connected when human flaws show up. An older couple once said to me, we prayed more than we posted. And that's why they lasted. Because blessings are sustained not by excitement, but by discipline. Heaven sends gifts that require growth to keep. Before God can send someone new, He asks you to make room. Write that letter of forgiveness. Even if you never send it, clear the clutter from your home, from your phone, from your heart. Each act is a quiet prayer that says, Lord, I'm ready for what's next. And maybe heaven is just waiting for you to make room. If this word resonates with your spirit, place your hand over your heart and whisper with me. I'm ready for peace, not performance. I'm ready for purpose, not pain. The Lord bless you and keep you. May the right one recognize your light and never dim it. Take a deep breath. If your spirit feels lighter right now, that's not coincidence. That's confirmation. Every time you choose peace over panic, every time you choose stillness over chasing, you move closer to the version of yourself that heaven has been shaping all along. Remember this: you are not behind. You are becoming. And this quiet season, this message, even this very moment, it's part of your divine timeline. If something in this message stirred your soul, stay with this space. This isn't just a channel. It's a place for divine reminders, whispers from heaven, meant to guide you one step at a time. So if your heart says yes, subscribe. Not for content, but for confirmation. Because sometimes the next word you need is waiting right where you last felt peace. May you walk into this week with calm strength. May your ears stay open to divine direction. And may you remember, when heaven wants to speak, it often starts with a whisper. You're not alone. You're being guided. Welcome to your next chapter.